Hello, my name is Nick, and welcome to Watch This Now. Midnight Kiss is Hulu's New Year's Eve installment in their Into the Dark horror series. Every holiday we get a horror-themed TV movie, and I'm starting to get into it. Midnight Kiss follows a group of gay men and their best gal pal as they head to the desert to celebrate New Year's Eve. They stay in this luxurious contemporary. It's probably like $3.7 million, must be nice. But unfortunately for our main cast, a black leather-clad murderer is stalking them and picking them off as the night goes on. Now, we don't get nearly enough gay horror for my liking, and I am also a huge slasher fan, so to get a gay horror slasher, boom, I was totally into this. I really liked this concept of mixing the idea of the midnight kiss on New Year's Eve with these gay hoes banging each other all over the place. I love that this movie was loaded with sex, but it was like realistic. It wasn't graphic. There might be a little bit of some gratuitous nudity, but you know what? I also really liked that because we're so used to seeing random boobs pop up in slasher films, and here you get random butts. Like, everyone is naked in this movie. It was wonderful. The most charming aspect of this film was the friendship between Cameron and Hannah. Augustus Prue and Aidan Mayari had great chemistry and felt like real besties. Some of the characters seemed a little extra at first, but then I thought about how many bitches I met like that and was like, yeah, Midnight Kiss, true. Scott Evans is also doing a good job in this film in the role of Joel. He might not be his brother Chris Evans' sexiest man alive, but he's looking pretty good here in his smart man glasses. I dig it. As the film plays out, we get a better understanding of the dynamics between this group of characters and their relationships with one another, which I, of course, really did enjoy. I can't help but be sucked into some gay horror. It really connected with me more than most other films that I have seen, just because, again, not enough gay horror. But the biggest problem with Midnight Kiss was how often it actually forgets to be a horror film. All they needed to do was pick off a couple more people and throw in a chase scene here or there, but like one of the characters gets killed off by not even the killer. I mean, it was just a little ridiculous to me, okay? Now, while I loved how open this film was with the sexuality in the gay community infused into a horror film, I also have to admit I have some really conflicting feelings about this. Like, our killer is in full-on BDSM gear with like a hood and collar. There's a kill with a broken champagne bottle that is very sexually charged. We've seen the same things before, from Cruising in the early 80s to American Horror Story nearly 10 years ago. The gay killer having like leather on and whatnot. It's just like, gay people are not the only ones into bondage, and not every gay person is into bondage. While it's exploring gay sexuality at times, it also feels like it's taking jabs at it and such. And I have to say, if I was writing my own gay slasher film, I'd probably make some of the same moves. I'd probably do the same exact things. And it's funny because as I was watching it, I was like, I don't know that I like this. But as I sat with it, I was like, I would probably do the same thing. So I'm not knocking it for that, but I just find it really interesting that it was like a mere reflection to my own creative ideas. And I was like, ah. But another criticism of the gay community in this film that just rang hollow to me was that our main character Cameron is on dating apps looking for someone to hook up with at midnight because they have this game where they've got to find someone to kiss at midnight, and they go out to the club and it's a whole thing. So he's looking for a hookup for the night, and all of his friends are giving him shit for being on a dating app, and it's just like, excuse me, but last I checked, Grindr basically invented the dating app, and like, there's just no shame in being on a dating app. I found it so stupid. I'm like, maybe if you're on the coast, you have the luxury of being able to waltz into a grocery store and just fall in love with random guy at counter, but for the rest of us, we still have to worry about getting our asses kicked for checking out the wrong guy. So I just found that to be really stupid, and it was pretty disappointing to me. One interesting aspect that I did like was that the film takes place near Palm Springs, California, which is, you know, gay mecca if you're like 60 plus, but I stayed there in September, and I found it interesting because I stayed near a mountain and I had like no service the whole time. I thought that's such a good way to get rid of cell phone service in your movie. However, I also was like, wait a minute, these people are staying in some like rich person's house. You mean to tell me they don't have Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi calling is a thing. Midnight Kiss had a concept that I was really interested in, and I had some fun with about half of the movie, but it just didn't give me the horror feels that I wanted. There weren't any thrills, there weren't any chills. There's the one memorable kill, but you know what? I saw that like 10 years ago in Sorority Row. I mean, they couldn't even give me a really good kill in this film. It's just not much of a horror film. And I have to talk about that with the Into the Dark series, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, I have fun with parts of it. I really enjoyed the exploration of the gay characters and all the good fun sex, but as a horror film, it just didn't do it for me. I'm gonna give Midnight Kiss a 2.5 out of 5. It's not that it's bad. I would say if I'm giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down, totally thumbs up. It's worth watching, it's enjoyable, it's entertaining enough, but it didn't fully do it for me. And this brings me to my biggest issue with the Into the Dark series so far, and I'll admit, I have only seen 4 episodes. I've only seen the Christmas and New Year's episodes. I'll catch up on the rest. But my comment that I have to make about these 4 films specifically is just that I don't think that they do a good enough job of being horror stories. This is supposed to be a horror anthology series, yet I feel like so often they get a good enough idea for just a plain movie, or more specifically, a TV movie, or a good enough idea for the holiday, but it isn't infused with the horror enough. It just isn't enough of a blend to make a satisfying watch. And I find that just unfortunate because you've got Hulu partnering with Blumhouse Productions. I mean, this should be a match made in heaven, but it's continuing to be a little disappointing, I would say. This one, Midnight Kiss, was probably the best of the 4 that I have seen. The other ones, I would give like, I don't know, that other New Year's one. Woo! Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Watch This Now because I've just got reviews cranking out and out and out and out and out. So you hit the comments. Let me know what installments of the Into the Dark series should I be checking out. What are the good ones? Let me know, and I'll see you in my next video.